This one's wife. How she absorbs her guests. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Do you know what you are to the narcissist? There are those of you that listen to me who have been involved with narcissists. You have experienced the ensnarement in a romantic entanglement or perhaps a familial situation. You may well have found yourself involved with one bullying you at work, or one that has inspired you. It might be the case that you recognize that somebody is a narcissist, but nevertheless, they have provided you with things that you have needed. Often, however, the involvement with the narcissist, particularly where it is in a personal and private capacity, is one that exacts a cost upon the victim. Whatever your involvement might have been, it is important for you to remember that you are an appliance. The narcissist objectifies you. You are there to serve the needs of the narcissist. You are there to be controlled. You are there to provide fuel. You are there to provide character traits. You are there to be exploited for residual benefits. You are not a lover or a friend, a spouse, or a relative, a colleague. Those are just labels that are applied so that the narcissist fits in. What you are is a vessel that provides useful things to the narcissist, and this is precisely the way that this one's wife operates in relation to those around her. She controls or seeks to control everybody around her and always obtains it through one of the three assertions of control. True, there will be collateral consequences. We've seen them aplenty in relation to her. But the narcissist always obtains control in some shape or form. She extracts fuel, whether it is indignation, criticism, condemnation, but preferably for her, admiration, lauding, love, praise. She takes the character traits from others and passes them off as her own. If you want to understand more about character trait acquisition, watch my video of that name. It's eye-opening. And naturally, she uses people for the residual benefits of social advancement, access to networks, provision of information, facade management, and most importantly of all for her, as a somatic narcissist, money. A recent statement has been provided by this one's wife in relation to her Thanksgiving appearance, and this provides you with an opportunity to understand the way that people are used by her, the way that she absorbs those around her. She is like an alien, with tentacles extending from her that wrap around each victim, whether they are tertiary source, secondary source, or, in the case of Harry, intimate partner, primary source. Those tentacles wrap around the unfortunate ensnared individual and take from them, sucking in the fuel from them, stripping the residual benefits, and absorbing the individual by way of character traits. The New York Post, through Nika Shakhtarova, reports, this one's wife has released a statement following her appearance at a Thanksgiving event without husband Prince Harry. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are reportedly in the midst of a professional separation, with recent reports suggesting that their work relationship is in a very bad state. Indeed, over the last few months, this one's wife and Harry have been seen attending various events solo. This one's wife recently hosted an intimate dinner for the Southern California Welcome Project through the Sussex's Archwell Foundation. Her husband, this one's wife husband, did not attend the event. It is her use of this event which has enabled her to utilize it to absorb the traits, the shards of personality, the fragments of character of her guests. You see, she does this by way of the statement that she shared on the Archwell website, in which she opened up about the heartfelt dinner that she threw for Afghan women with their partner organisation, Mina's List. This initiative has spent the past year building community through storytelling and creating a safe space for women who have resettled in the United States from Afghanistan, the statement read. The evening included a shared meal that encouraged open conversation centred on gratitude and resilience. Sounds like a barrel of laughs, doesn't it? This one's wife expressed her deep appreciation to the attendees for sharing their personal stories and cultural experiences. Be under no illusion that as she sat there and these individuals shared their personal stories and cultural experiences, her cognitive empathy will have caused her to make it seem like she cared, that she seemed to be appreciative, that she appeared to be listening. But she was only listening on one level. She was only listening on the level with regard to the extraction of fuel. She was only listening on the level with regard to the acquisition of character traits. She was only listening on the level of which she was being validated as the empathic, caring person she believes herself to be. In other words, she was only listening on the level with regard to it being self-serving. She wasn't listening because she cared. She didn't listen because she is genuinely interested in the plight of these women. No. She listened because her narcissism deemed that it was appropriate for her to do so in relation to not only drawing in the fuel, but also in respect of absorbing the stories and experiences of those individuals, which she will then take for her own. With no appreciable boundary recognition, the individuals that talked about their experiences, she will take and pass them off as her own. That isn't to say that she will go around saying that she was a refugee from Afghanistan. But what she will do is she will look to utilize them to talk about how she helped these people, even though she would never do anything for them ever again. She will use their experiences and stories to seek to monetize them in some way. That she would seek to utilize this, to pass them off as if something that she has lived, to make it seem like she understands them. The fact is, her narcissism caused her to host this dinner for a multitude of reasons, one of which was to allow her to absorb her guests, to suck in their experiences. The statement continued by explaining the Duchess remains committed to uplifting women and fostering community through shared experiences. Notice, she sees them subconsciously as an extension of her shared experiences. Since when did she live in Afghanistan? Since when did she flee from a war-torn area? Since when did she have to escape an authoritative regime? She didn't. But she believes that she is like them, because that is what her narcissism causes her to do. She absorbs her guests as she sees them as extensions of herself. The statement talked about reinforcing the importance of unity and support through challenging times. Not only was the experience immediately commandeered by this one's wife to place on the Archwell Foundation homepage under the banner of Celebrating Strength, it accompanied a statement which demonstrated precisely what her narcissism does. It included, naturally, pictures of this one's wife attending the dinner, being seen with various people at Shahid's place. It showed her in her customary pose of placing her arms around people, of gripping people, of hugging people as she asserted control over them. Each of those guests has been absorbed into the world of this one's wife. It doesn't mean that she will ever bother with them again, although she might do. The likelihood is that she will not do so. But they thought that they were guests of somebody, a host, and they weren't. They were appliances that were ushered in to serve her needs. She absorbs the fuel that they provide. She absorbs the residual benefits that come from facade management. She absorbs, even as she stated, their stories, their experiences. That she will utilize those personal stories and cultural experiences for further enrichment. This is what the narcissist does. And this one's wife holds it out there to suggest that she's doing good, when in actual fact, as with everything that she does when it comes to somebody else, it is just another instance of her self-serving nature. And once again, it enables me to demonstrate how her narcissism functions as she draws people to her and sucks them dry. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.